Hey, Riley. Mommy has a question for you. So here's the question. Are you ready? Are you ready? Riley, are you a boy or a girl? Are you a girl or a boy? Yes. What is Riley? What are you? Yeah? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Yeah? Are you both? Both? Okay, that's fine. You can be both if you want to. Is that Spider-Man?
I don't have words. I don't have words. I saw this video last night pop up on my timeline on Twitter, and I just was like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. This can't be real. Like, it infuriated me. Absolutely infuriated me for the most obvious reasons. This is a baby. And here you have a mother who is asking her infant child, are you a boy or a girl? And genuinely asking her child, by the way. So I did some research, and I found the actual creator on TikTok where she resides. Now, I'm not really sure what the identity is of this creator, because when I did some research, they were a woman, then they were non-binary. I think now they identify as a man, but I'm not really sure. You know, in this day and age, you just never know. It changes weekly. So I don't really care about all of that. What I care mostly about, though, is what this person is doing to their child and the harm that they're causing their baby by even having these conversations with a child. If this isn't grooming, I do not know what is. So I did some research. I'm gonna put up my phone here because, yeah, it's a lot. So this creator goes by Spit the Dude on TikTok, and their pronouns are trans MILF. I don't know what the hell that means. And they have over 100,000 followers on TikTok. And when I went through their TikTok page, I did see quite a few videos with this person and their baby. So she openly has her baby on display in many different videos, including the one that I just showed you, where she is questioning her child's gender. So then I watched a couple of other videos of this person as they were replying to other people who thankfully were as outraged as I was. And I came across this video. Let's watch it really quickly, and then we're gonna respond.
It always cracks me up when somebody tries to make the argument of like, well, it's not scientifically correct to teach your child to, you know, outside of the gender binary. But like, do y'all forget that intersex people exist? Like, and they exist outside of the binary by nature? Like, and I know that some people's argument is like, well, there's not a large percentage of intersex people. But like, when you really look at it, like, just about the same amount of intersex people exist as like gingers. And when we're talking about hair colors, we don't exclude red hair. Like, just because it's more rare doesn't mean it doesn't exist in big enough numbers for us to like talk about actively in society. If Riley is truly physically and hormonally 50% male and 50% female because of being intersex, how would you want me to teach them? And the thing is that anyone who knows anything about how human bodies work and develop knows that it really doesn't matter, like sex, gender, any of that, until the secondary sex traits develop during puberty, which, I don't know if you remember how old my kid is. Puberty is a long way away. And honestly, I feel like some of this argument is kind of like really not condescending, but like almost calling me stupid because you act like I'm not educating my child on like anatomy and biology.
Whew, I'm gonna stop it there for a quick second because we gotta respond to this. So there is just so much to unpack with her defense as to why she is teaching her infant, and I keep saying that, infant child about gender ideology and asking her child, what gender are you today? So she brings up the argument that many people within the trans community and what I call the gender cult like to pull, which is the intersex / hermaphrodite argument, which is, well, there are people who are both sexes. There are people who are born with chromosomes that are not normal, and therefore they are both sexes. So what if my child was intersexed? Would I tell my child that she or he doesn't exist yet because the social construct of gender doesn't really fit them in a box? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Now here's my thing. Before I even get into why this argument is so asinine, let's talk about the bigger question here, right? Is Riley, your child, intersexed. As far as I know, from the research that I've done from this creator, there is no indication that her child is intersexed or a hermaphrodite or has any type of chromosomal disorder. None. So you are using an argument that is not relevant in this case because your child was born with one sex. Now, I don't know if that's XX or XY because this creator never actually reveals the actual sex of her child for obvious reasons. So I don't want to assume that it's a boy or a girl, so I'm going to just say the child. But if your child was not born intersex, why are you equating that argument in this case to defend what you're doing? And the reason why this ticks me off is because oftentimes, and I've said this before in previous videos, oftentimes the trans community, when they want to defend their choices, they love to use intersex people as the scapegoat, as the little carrot on a string. But what about intersex people? But intersex. First of all, being intersex, again, is a chromosomal abnormality. It is extremely, I cannot emphasize this enough, it is extremely rare. It is not normal. It is a birth defect. So this argument about, well, some people are born intersex, so therefore I can teach my child that they don't have a gender yet, even though they are an intersex, is like saying, well, some children are born handicapped. Some babies don't have legs. So I'm gonna teach my child not to walk, but to stay crawling on the floor because you never know. You see how stupid that argument is? We know, you know, mother, that your child is not intersex. So you using that argument in this case is completely ridiculous because it has nothing to do with your child. Nothing. You're using that argument as a scapegoat to further your own agenda and how you see yourself. See, this is about your own self-validation. You yourself are trans, and so therefore you want to teach your child about inclusivity with trans people by pushing this agenda onto them. And here's why that's a problem. We know that majority of the population is not going to be trans, just by statistics alone. Being trans is a very, very, very small, minuscule part of our population. Although you wouldn't know that if you look around because it's everywhere. But it is. It's a very small, minute population. So why are you pushing this disorder on your child when your child may not have a trans disorder? Your child may not be confused about their gender, but you know what's going to confuse them? What you're doing. That is going to confuse them. And I actually responded to this creator's post. I questioned and I said, so is your child intersexed? You didn't state that or make that clear. You're only using a what if argument. If your baby is not intersex, then what you're doing is indeed harmful. I said what I said. It is 100,000% harmful because you are putting an ideology into your child's brain at such a young age where they can't comprehend, by the way, but you're planting that seed now. And I don't know, something tells me that when that child is of age to understand, 5, 6 years old, you're going to be pushing this ideology onto them. Asking them every day, so are you a girl today or a boy? What are you? Again, if your child was born one sex, chances are they probably do not have gender dysphoria, just based on statistics. So you asking that question and pushing that ideology onto them is harmful and it is grooming. This is about you wanting to be validated by your child. And what's sad about this is that I guarantee you that if her child did come out as having gender dysphoria, she would be elated. She would be so happy. Yes, yes, one for my team. Never mind the fact that I wouldn't wish gender dysphoria on anybody because it is a very hard life to live. It is painful for a person to be born in a body that they don't identify with. It is not easy. It is extremely hard. And what I don't understand is why in our society today do we glorify this disorder? Why is this parent pushing this disorder on her own child and calling it learning and teaching? No, it's called grooming and abuse. She made another video. She just kept digging that hole for herself. So let's watch that video and then respond to it.
No, babes, because you are making my point for me in the comment section right now. Children do not develop a sense of self until 3 to 4 years old. So why, as a society, are we forcing our ideas of what sense of self is, depending on how we think society will perceive our child before they have any idea what any of that is? Why would I create a false, pre-constructed sense of self for my child for them to have to dismantle later when I can instead do what I should do as a parent and an educator to my child and show them all of the options that they can have as a person, the same way that you would with like favorite toys or favorite colors or what they want to be when they grow up. You don't tell them what theirs is. You show them, and then you let them choose on their own because they're a human being who can choose on their own.
Pause. But again, the problem with this argument is that you showing your child all the different possibilities of what they could be struggling with without showing you any signs is premature because your child is looking at you, who is a trans person, telling them this could be you. Do you think it's you? What do you think? Children are going to tell you what they think you want to hear. especially at very impressionable ages. So my advice would be, how about you let your child just be a child and assume that the sex that they were born as is how they identify? Because again, 98% of the population does not suffer from gender dysphoria. But you are taking 2% and saying that 2% could be my child. So let me prepare her or him prematurely. I actually responded again to this creator in this video, and here's what I said. I questioned her and I said, but if your child is not trans, you are instilling confusion on them. Only 2% of the population is trans. What you're doing is projecting your trans onto your child when 98% of humans identify with the sex they are biologically born as. If he or she tells you, mommy, I'm not a insert gender here, then have that conversation when it's clearly appropriate. But at an infant stage, it's just creepy and clear grooming. Their confusion will be from you. And that's why people are questioning your parenting style choices that you displayed publicly, by the way. Again, I said what I said. Like, you are projecting your own issues onto your child and stating that my child could have this disorder, even though there are no signs anywhere at this stage that my child has this disorder. But just in case, let me plant these seeds in their brain and then see what happens. I always say this, children are mirrors, okay? They're going to reflect what they see in their environment. So if you are speaking trans, and confusion onto that child, they're going to reflect confusion back at you. And then because you're looking for validation, you're gonna see that child's confusion as, oh, they must be trans. All right, now we can start the process. No, what you need to do is chillax. Take a chill pill, sit back, and let your child be. And if your child naturally comes to you and starts showing signs and tells you, mom or dad, I don't feel like the sex that I was born as, I'm in the wrong body, and they start displaying those signs of gender dysphoria, then have the conversation. Then take them to a professional and get them help. Now, sadly, in this day and age, help is going to a gender affirming doctor and just letting the doctor pretty much affirm their child as opposed to treating their child. So even then, I caution, because we know that these people are not looking for treatment, they're looking for affirmation, and it's really sad. So I don't have high confidence that even if her child was struggling with this disorder, that she would actually take the appropriate stance and get treatment. She would just affirm and probably would change a child's gender socially immediately, which is very sad. But yeah, you guys, this is just reality now. This is our reality. This is it. And I don't know how this person can look at their child and not see the damage that they are potentially causing their child by teaching them about a disorder that they don't even have. It makes no sense. That's like me giving my child asthma treatment, a nebulizer, even though they don't have any signs of asthma. But just in case, you never know, let's clear your lungs out. No, you're over-treating your child as opposed to just letting your child be. And the fact that she had the nerve to compare, oh, well, it's the same thing as your child may like a certain toy. You don't tell your child what toy to play with. Really? You're comparing toys, the toy choices that a child makes, with sex and gender, which is long-lasting and will have long-lasting effects for the rest of their life? Yeah, lady, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's my diagnosis. If you enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this case, of this video, of this parent. Do you think she's correct, or do you think she's cray-cray? I vote cray-cray. I'm also available on TikTok and on Instagram. I just hit 200,000 on TikTok, so represent. If you guys want to follow me there, definitely hit me up so we can connect. I also have a link in my bio with my Cash App and my PayPal in case you guys want to donate to my channel. All proceeds will go back into this channel so I can continue doing what I'm doing, which is these videos. Until next time, peace.